Okay, so hello everyone, Chaos TV is today here at Nummi Rock Festival in Nummijärvi, Finland, and we have here guest Attila from the band Mayhem. So first of all, hello and welcome to Chaos TV, man.
Hello Chaos TV and hello Suomi, hello Finland. Fucking great to be here.
So in general, how has the summer been so far for you and Mayhem?
It's been pretty busy, but I was not just out with Mayhem. With Mayhem we played in a show in Bristol, which was like a festival called Templars Festival, which was like cancelled, but we still managed to set up a club show, so that was pretty good, I think, for the people who travel there and shit. And then we played in Sweden Rock, but at that time that show was with Maniac, because it's two things. One of the things that we had some overbooking things. I was on tour with Sun in the US, and there was really important shows, you know, in Canada and stuff. And the second thing was, which was what we were thinking it's the best to do with this thing, like instead of canceling, like having him, you know, and playing this show. And that's really good for the fans, you know, like the new generations who haven't seen him. And we just had a show with him at the Inferno Festival when we split the set. People really liked it, and Sven is a really good friend, you know, not just mine but the whole band, and I think it shows where we are. Like, we are Mayhem, you know, we can, you know, fucking do this, and this shows like how much we are like a brotherhood, you know.
I was actually going to ask you about that how does it feel from like your point of view that you are actually sharing the stage with like other Mayhem singers?
From my point of view, Mayhem is Mayhem. It's like a logo, you know, it's nobody's band. Like, if you think about, I'm the vocalist of Mayhem, it's been for 10 years, but it's still on a set. Maybe it's like a few songs what actually I wrote and I sing. So I'm used to that I perform a lot of other vocalist stuff and even style. And I mean, incorporate their style in my style somehow, and just kind of move it ahead. But for me, Mayhem is like above these things, you know. It's something very important for my life, that logo, and all my brothers, you know, who passed away, and the thing goes really deep, you know, the depths of my soul. And so for me, this band is like more than just a band. It's kind of my life, and of course what it is, so it's like Sven being the singer for 10 years, you know, so of course he is welcome to play, you know, if the time and the space is right, you know, like this time it was, you know. But in any way, you know, and I think it has been a plan for a long time. Actually, it was my idea for a long time too, you know. Yes.
So you actually wanted it to happen?
I wanted it to happen. I already wanted it to happen on actually our 30 years anniversary tour, when we also played in Oslo, on Öja Festival. So we had this plan, even when we had this other show in Oslo in Centrum Scene. But somehow it was not the right time or vibe or space, or we were just on tour, or we couldn't rehearse in the right way, or he was not in the right mindset maybe, you know. So I'm just saying, this was not, we had this idea for a while now, and you know,
now you just did it basically.
He invited me to the stage too, so naturally I can invite him anytime, you know, and I hope it's gonna happen more in the future. We'll see, you know. It's no plan like that, you know. But I mean, right now we are playing this record, you know, the Mysterious Dom Satanas album. So of course now it's an interesting time, and I think also it fitted to this period, you know. We play this old stuff, you know, and to bring him back for have like this grander creation of war.
I think it's perfect
songs.
Mix.
I think so. I think it was, and I'm always thinking about fans' perspective, you know, and they might like to see that, you know, and they might like, I'm sure they like to hear the Mysterious Dom Satanas album, and I'm sure that a lot of kids who never seen Sven, you know, they like to see him on stage. So I think it was a good idea. Also, it was a nice way to bridge this little booking problem, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool, and it shows, like our fucking blood deep brotherhood, you know, in this band. It's really special.
I was actually going to ask you about that, and now you are playing that De Mysteries Dom Satanas album like full here at Numirok today. So how different is like this show compared to the normal Mayhem show when it comes to like your own mindset? Do you have like a different feeling when you go to the stage playing this specific album live?
Yes, I do very different, because this is a whole record, and it's a very special record. We play the songs, you know, in the set, but that's a different thing when we include it to the set. But now it's more about, you know, how to recreate that atmosphere, that feeling, you know, those emotions which were going, like I told you, really deep, and it's a very special feeling to play the whole album. Actually, I always thinking about our brothers, you know, who passed away. It's not just this show. Normally I do in every show, actually. I always offering them, you know, part of the show and some songs. But this is even more than that, you know. I like to invite them, like to be in the present, you know, and you know, somehow just channel the whole thing, you know. And I remember the feeling how it was back in the days, and for me it's kind of like cool to bring this back, you know. It's a good feeling, and I think with this lineup now it's more solid, you know. We are finally falling shape, you know. It took some time, it was not easy, but now lineup is solid, so it's also that's a right constellation to do this album. It's never been right for this like so much as now, so that's why we're doing it, you know. But we didn't want to wait, you know, like it would be risky to wait too for some anniversary or some shit. We more like, we don't have that strong agenda with this band. We're kind of emotional, I guess, too, and you know, we follow our feelings, and the whole thing is very special.
But I think that's the idea behind Mayhem, like in general, that there is feelings happening, and
a lot of feelings happening, and it, of course, it might look chaotic from an outsider, but this is like our special way how we can function, you know, actually. So it's of course chaotic for us on a certain level, but we feel comfortable with, you know. And I think it's like you said, it's been the trademark of the band, like we do unpredictable things, you know, and I really like that, and I really love this band for this lot of experimental aspects. It gives me so much experiment, so much fucking great times, and heavy and hard and crazy and just unbelievable sometimes, you know. But I just want to say I feel so honored to be here, you know, and to play this record. Seriously, it's such a big thing. It's such a fucking important thing. And
how important do you see the album, like career-wisely, to the band and to you? Obviously, it's like one of the most well-known black metal albums of all time.
Yeah, I have to say, naturally, and of course, this is the most important album in my life. That's the first full-length album which was released with me on vocals. However, we had an album recording before with Tormentor, but at the time it was not released. But it's just one thing. The other thing, like, you know, when I joined this band, that whole level, you know, and the energy and the strong feelings were going on, you know, and strong unity. So it's interesting to think back, and it was just like, you know, defining everybody's life. It became part of my life. Of course, it was very important for my personal like career too, you know. But that album, people should know, it's, you know, it's so much adored, and it's really, really, it's most important, very great record. But for us, it's very painful too, you know. That's people, because I understand people adore this record because it kind of, you know, just put the spark on this torch, you know, and just the whole thing risen, you know, and all the bands started to tour, get signed.
It had a big impact on everyone, basically.
Yeah. But you should not forget, Mayhem was into ashes, you know. It was burned down. We fucking give our blood, or some people give their blood in our band for this record. People died, people end up in prison, everything went crazy. And so from those ashes, like a phoenix, we risen again, you know, and I think that's what no one should forget, that that's why it's brave what Sven did and Bless Zimmer did for this band, even if they're not here today, you know, and that's why it's important to make like a statement that we are all like a brotherhood, you know, and we've been through all this shit, and it's been very really hard sometimes, you know. I mean, I remember I was really deep in depression, you know, after when things happened, you know. And I think now it was important for my, even artistically probably, because now I understand more, you know, what is we are talking about, you know, and what is when it's real there, and what is when it's tearing your soul apart, you know, and you lose your points, you know, in life, and you just
something that you just have to go through.
Like you lose gravity, and somehow you lose the only thing. So it's like we've been through all this, and I think still it's great that the band is here around and we can still play this record, you know, and without any bad feelings, without anything negative towards ourselves, at least, you know. And it's like, I'm very proud, and it's good that we managed to be here, you know. I think it's pretty very brave in this band's case, because it's hard to maintain, you know, this level of extremity for so long time. So of course bad things happen to you. I mean, you can't fucking control all. If you are always on the edge, and if you are always pushing things, of course you get burned naturally. And we got burned, and we learned, you know, and we know. But it makes us stronger, I think, now, and we have this experiment, and we still have our brothers with us, you know, in spirit, and because it's important, and I think it's very easy to have them here. You just have to think about it. That's let's make it in this very simple way, but yeah, that's my magic, you know, and that's and it's just we are playing music. Hey, it's, you know, we are still here to express, you know, our emotions or channel these emotions, you know, to the audience, and it's itself. I think music is the magic itself. That's what it is, and that's what keeps us together here, and that's what I love about these festivals too. Like, I was just hanging out with my friends from Dragon Force, you know, for instance, which is like pretty distance, but the other day I was hanging out with Glenn Banton, you know, from this side. Like, it's like how we all, you know, but I could pick up any other musicians. We all respect each other, I think, today. More and more, and the whole scene is more. It's still, of course,
unity.
It's heavy metal itself. It has this unity, and we all respect more and more each other within the scene, and it's fucking cool to see, you know, my old friends and bands around, you know, and so I'm happy.
You also have that band with the Dragon Force bassist Fredrik, that Sinsenum. So, and you're about to release the album in July. So how did you actually got involved with that project?
Yeah, this is a really cool stuff. Thanks for the question. It's a new thing. It's a new baby, and it's a good timing for this, because also that band kind of represents to me this what we are talking about. That in a metal, in a wider perspective, we all fucking adore and respect each other. Like, we have bands like Fred from Dragon Force, or Stefan from Loud Blast, like thrash metal band, Joey from Slipknot and this
different metal genres basically.
Sean from Chimera, you know, Chimera from the new wave of American heavy metal thing. It's like different, and even Seth, Florian from Seth, you know, like underground black metal. We all kind of like, you know, and it's a fucking great thing, you know. And how it happened, it's cut it short. It was Joey who invited me to this band. Like I knew him for a long time. It's like back to, I don't know, 2004 or something when we met first and kept in touch here or there, and we had some ideas. So he was the one who invited me to this band. But I know that was like years ago already. This took like years, you know, this thing. Like he was still in Slipknot at the time. Everything was different. Yeah. It's like years back. We already had this band. I mean, I think it's in 2012 I already had the demos, or I heard the demos. So it's a long
time ago.
It's a long time ago. It's a long process, and it started like I mean, Joey of course invited. It's an honor, but you know, when I heard it was Fred, the other guy we've been a friend with Fred, you know. So then I was like, fuck yes. It's really cool, you know, and
those songs sound really good. What I have heard so far, that's a really good album.
Thank you. Yeah, it's we all adore, you know, extreme metal, so it has a lot of it based on that metal. Like actually, I always wanted to also try myself. I really respect that metal scene, you know, and just did here or there stuff with, you know, even with Glam Anton or some other stuff. You know, when we played together in Belfagor, like we had a song together with Glam. I always had this kind of interest, and I love those people, you know, like Suffocation guys. So you know, it's fucking cool. So it was just naturally cool for me, and we evolved with the idea, and we had Sean, and that was interesting for me even more because I had this vision actually even before I joined Mayhem with my other band in Hungary to have two vocalists.
Okay.
But not just like, because normally how it goes in that metal, or you know, or the guitarist sings, or there's a vocalist and someone is backing up, right?
Yeah.
But I think when it's two vocalists, like fucking, you know, pushing it,
more power to it. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, when we rehearsed, you know, I already felt it was like really fucking, you know, it could be something really interesting too, like the voice gonna be stronger, and I can play more, you know, we can play more around it, and it's something new. So I love new things, and I like new horizons, and I'm looking forward to that, and we are really on the same page with Sean, which is really funny. It was like just look each other like how it's like we came from such. So this band is kind of lucky constellation too, because we are fucking hang out together very well, you know, and like it's really fun also, you know, to do it with these people. Like it's very black fun, you know, like evil as fuck, but still we've been all in these bands, you know, and we had all these experiments, and I think we learned we don't want any bullshit. We just fucking wanna go straight forward for this, you know, and we'll see how it will go. And I'm very happy and very proud to be in that band. Actually, it's a great honor, and it's gonna be really interesting. I think it's just the beginning, you know. We are still cracking the egg, you know. I was lucky to bring the band to Hungary, and we made 2 video clips, but I was co-producing so that I could offer to the band. I know some film crews, you know, and some production crews in Hungary, and I think it worked out because we already released one video.
Really nice.
Yeah, it was recorded in a Hungarian power plant, which is still working actually. It's fucking cool. And it's another video coming up soon actually. So we made 2 videos. It was something also really great for me, because with Mayhem, you know, we are always, it's not, we do these kind of videos, but It's always based on live. We don't like to. I mean, we didn't do a video clip so far.
Yeah.
It's hard to see. It was always hard to see. Like, we didn't feel comfortable. But with this band, it was so good. So I could experiment that thing. And you know, I used to work for some film productions back in the days, but it's something different. This is an old friend of mine too, who the owner and producer of this video in the company, you know, and I was happy to work with him, you know, and co-produce this shit, and I was something again, something good and new for me, and I like that, you know, because I didn't have a video clip myself before, like didn't appear in anything, so it's cool, and it's coming up another one.
I was actually going to ask you that you are actually part of Sun, and now you are obviously part of that Sinsanum, and then you also are part of Mayhem.
Yeah.
So do you feel that you basically need to have these different kinds of bands and different kinds of music styles to basically express yourself fully?
This is a really good question. Mayhem and Sun, I definitely need.
Yeah.
That's for me. That's even after this year, since I've been in Sun for like 12 years now, even longer than back with Mayhem actually, because I was already with Sun when I was invited to join back to Mayhem in 2004. So it's like, for me, Sun is like, I can even hard to imagine without that actually. It's for me very important. It helps so much. I can experiment so much with my voice in those shows and learn in real, you know, when you learn in a battlefield.
Yeah.
You test the weapon in the battlefield, not just at home, you know, in a bathroom, you know. So it's really important. The whole vision, you know, it fits together. And this band and Mayhem, needless to say, that's the most important band. That's my structure is like that. That's number one. That's the top of the pyramid, you know, and that rules everything. But still, you know, without Sun, I couldn't perform like that. I couldn't evolve with my vocals.
Yeah. So you
that
need to
much.
have that band.
I really need that band to have the space.
Yeah, to grow as a musician, basically.
Yes, it's so much, and vice versa, you know. But this band, Sinsanum, everybody has other bands, and that was just like, I think we just started, and it just dragged us into it, you know. Like we just created ourselves this vacuum, and I think it's grown bigger than we thought, and it's kind of like,
I think it's getting bigger and bigger all the time.
Yeah, and I even didn't think about it, just like did it for fun, and did it for the music and for the people, and also in a way for my family, because I must say my son, he used to be like a Dragon Force fan and even Slipknot fan, and you know, guys are even taking care of them when I was on tour, and they invite them to backstage and shit, you know. So
really cool.
That's really cool. That also shows, you know, like how and that's how it's in a way it's also part of the thing. But for me it was also the music when I heard, and also how it shaped, you know, and when I met everybody personally, and we figured out that it's a fucking cool thing, you know, and it's like fun to hang out. So now it just happened. That was not really my plan.
Okay, it just happened.
It not just happened, because it has been years, I say, but it gives me a lot of release in my head. You know, I feel like, I don't know why, it's something like, it's releasing something in my mind, this band. It gives me more self-confident, or peace with myself, which I didn't expect to happen. So it's just something I'm surprised, because for me it's great, and also like I'm really looking forward now what's gonna be next with that band too. Like if we do another album, how will be that, because it's gonna be really, really funny to see, at least for me. And we'll see. So far it's great. Everybody is very cool in the band, respectful. See how the fans will like, or the people will like it or not. But I think so far we had some good, pretty much positive feedbacks, you know, and the video was like more like rock, and that's the more easier song on the album, but the rest of the album has some pretty heavy shit, you know, like some really extreme stuff, you know.
So what does like the future in general hold for you? Have you already had talks about the next Mayhem album?
Yeah.
Is it already in the works, or
I mean,
you are pretty busy? I would imagine that you have like 3 bands now, so I guess you are pretty busy all the time.
Exactly. I must say it's enough.
Yeah.
And I can do more, or I would not like to do more, because then it's hard to keep focus, you know.
Yeah.
But definitely we have great plans with all the bands. Like Mayhem, it's never gonna stop, you know. That's a rusty tank. It's gonna go forever. We do a new album. I heard some vibes already. We are started to shape stuff, you know. It's gonna be different as it looks like now, of course. But that's our trademark.
Do you already have like some plans for the album, or is it very light plans, or
very light plans? Very. We don't feel any stress. We just take it very easy. But I heard some tones from Morten already, you know, I must say, and that was interesting. And yeah, we are just figuring out slowly what to do. And with Sun, we are still in the middle of this touring, and that band is doing amazing. We're gonna play like these special shows, like we're gonna play in this labyrinth.
Yeah.
It's like in Parma. It's the biggest labyrinth in Europe, and they have this pyramid in the center of the labyrinth. It's gonna like play in front of the pyramid, and it's just looking forward that.
You are also playing in Helsinki in August.
Yeah, we're gonna
a club show.
Yes, we're gonna come. Yeah, it's that part, that tour. The part of the tour will be this show as well in Parma. We're gonna be back to Helsinki. That's true. It's gonna be great. I like this new set we are playing. It's a little bit different again, of course, and it's even more psychedelic, more spiritual now. I really like it, and yeah, it's Insanum. I guess we're gonna play some shows sometime. We will see schedules.
Yeah, I guess it's a lot of.
That's a little bit.
It needs a perfect time, I guess.
Yes, but we are all up to do it in case. So I think we're gonna play here or there. We should. I mean, if this album is out, I think we should also show the people that we can play it. Yeah. So I'm sure everybody will be happy to hear that, and for me, that's I can see it's gonna be a busy future. And on the side, like I have my solo band, Void of Voices, which is kind of like. Has to be relaxed now, maybe trying to make an album with that. And even I was invited to play in some operas, like actually it was the Belgian State Opera. Maybe it's too early to say, but I have some interesting offers here or there, you know, which I hope I can include in the schedule, you know. And I love it, you know. That's what we wanted always to do, play music, you know. So. We are doing it.
So thank you, Attila, very much for the interview, and best of luck with every 3 band you have at the moment.
Thank you very much.
Do you want to say anything as last words to the Finnish fans, maybe for the fans of Sun who are coming on August to see you in the club of Helsinki?
Yeah, we fucking love you guys. It's fucking great to be here in Finland as always. Come to the show in Helsinki if you can come, if you can make it. I promise it's gonna be a special, really strong ritual, you know, going on like into the space of the sound. And thank you for your support again and again, and you guys fucking rule. And see you from the other side of the stage, right?
Thank you, man.